The first person God created, was it single or married? So what matters more, marriage or single? So God tells you now, even in heaven, there is no marriage. Because marriage was not the plan. God created a man. So God is more interested with your singleness than your marriedness. So marriage is not superior to singlehood. And many people leave singlehood to enter into the secondary platform, which is not superior to the primary platform. Because when God creates a thing, the state is that being, how he has created it. So when he created man, the state is single. So after you are single, you are now married. But the original state is single. You're not getting it. So your single life matters more. This is why even if you are married, you will still notice you are the one to pray. Even if you have children, it's still your life. Like there is a part you can't go with your children. There is a part you can't go with your husband. There is a part you can't go with your wife. It's still you. Do you get it? So that singlehood that you're ignoring matters more to God. Because the true wife is not my wife or my husband. The true marriage is me and Christ. That's why he created a single man, not a married man. So that he will matter to God more than he matters to you. Now, do you understand when Jesus is now coming and saying, whoever leaves? It sounds sad. He's not speaking anything rubbish. It was the original plan. Whoever leaves his father, whoever leaves his mother, his wife, his children. Do you see that? Because the original plan, you never had children. When you came out from your mother's womb, it was you. Now, do you realize even if you are twins, both of you can't come out? Mutaua mama. Whether you are twins, that's why you notice even if you are twins by face, you are not twins by DNA. To explain to you, you are as single as you came. There is no one person, whether you are twins, no one of you can share the same. That's to tell you individuality matters more to God. God is interested in individuals. So marriage now came with the hope of it is not good for a man, but it was not sin. Right? Okay, what do I mean? Okay, today is going to be scientific. Please bear with me, I'm born again, okay? And Jesus is the Savior of my life, and I'm a senior pastor hoping to get to heaven. Now let me explain why. He did not say it is not good for a boy. He said it's not good for a man. So only men should be given women. So the question is, are you a man? He didn't say it is not good for a male. The person had gotten to a point of manhood. Now I'll explain why. You see, a man carries seeds. So what God was addressing was his capacity. That those seeds he had put in the man, it's not good that they just remain seed. You're not getting it. Because the man already, it's like, for example, you are rich, and then I say, it is not good for you to stay in an iron house. Let us make you a suitable house. The reason why I'm saying the making is because you already are what you need to expand. So this man was, God needed to expand him because he already was. He had the capacity to bring forth. So if God did not bring a suitable helper, it would have been a waste, the kind of things God has invested in this man. Then you would have made him an angel, because they neither marry or nor are they given to. Is that your Bible? So because he was not an angel, he was man. He had the capacity to procreate. So angels, you see why they were now in job? Dancing and singing. So the question now is, who is man? Because one of the things God gave man, and he never gave angel, is procreation. No angel can bring forth. But when it came to man, God, you guys, you don't understand. You don't understand. That's why I said I want to be very sensitive. There is no angel. This is why the minute they left the throne in Genesis 6 and they entered into a procreation agenda. Now, I'll tell you why, Muski. I'll tell you why God had to punish them. It is not good for a man. Bro, can I use you? You are sure? Come. This is what you call a man. Now, this man has beard, has everything. Within this man, one of what things you can't see is that he has seeds. That's what makes him man. Now, a woman, because today we need to explain who's a woman. Any being in the human form that does not have seed, you are not a man. Even if you behave like one and wear jeans. Now, there is no one here as a woman. What makes you a man is capacity to contain seed. What makes you a woman is capacity to germinate seed. That's where we have gotten to in our generation. That we need to teach who is a woman and who's a man. So this person is a man. He was made a man. Let us make man. So God made him as male. Do you get it? Now, because this is a male, the male did not even know because he had never had sex. The guy was not interested. We were okay. So women, before we looked at you, we were looking at trees. That's why we love our jobs more than you. Mtaki kuambia ukweli. That's why the man would spend 8 hours working because he was working before he met you. So a man's work matters more than a woman. In fact, a woman will find a better place in a man if the man has first found his work. So the man will be frustrated. He doesn't know his purpose, and then he goes meets a woman. Because the woman is purpose-driven. She will keep asking you every day, Umeleta nini? Because she is purpose-driven. She was designed to support purpose. That's why I tell men, if you don't know your purpose, don't marry. You're going to waste that girl. Bishop, what do you do to keep a woman purpose? No woman can walk out of purpose. There's no woman. It is not good for a man to be alone. Why? Because God had already put in him the necessary capacity, and it was going to be a waste. He was going to be just walking with seed. I don't know if you're getting it. So that is bad investment. Are you understanding? It's bad investment. It's like now you make 5 million and you go and buy a Range Rover. Bad investment. And then it just stays in the house, no fuel. We are still with you in the matatu from 15th to 29th. We meet in the matatu like many Kenyans. You realize traffic is always from 30th to 5th to 7th. Because many of them, they are faking the life. They don't have what it takes to buy that car, and they don't want to sell it and admit it. So they would rather fake it than live it. This man had an investment. God put investment in him. God now came and told him it is not good for this man to be alone. The reason is because in him, he has the capacity not to be alone. Do you understand it? So God was addressing what he had already invested. Now when the angels came, now do you understand? In Genesis 6, they don't have seed. So they multiplied by an illegal system. Because according to this man, the reason why he should not be alone is because unlike angels, there is no angel that can multiply. This is why there are no lookalikes in the angelic realm. That angel you met is the only angel that looks like that. Angels are so unique even to colors. Angels are so unique even to wings. I was just teaching him today. I was taking him to an experience I can't teach publicly. For now. Sasa ni nini? If God wanted you to hear, that time I was talking to him, you should have been in the agenda. The reason why you are not is because you are not supposed to hear it. But I was addressing UFO. Then I showed him from the scripture. Those things that Americans want to look like aliens. If Isaiah and Ezekiel hear that conversation, they will laugh at this generation. Sky what? Sasa ona anasema, why am I saying? Someone is praying. Sister, stop praying. Father, I push him to say, in the name of Jesus. No wonder I'm saying. So when the angels came and they saw the women and they were beautiful, they desired procreation. But remember, procreation in that capacity was only given to the human son, not angelic. So in the angelic formation, all angels are. No angel is being created. So before man was created, all the angels that need to be created were created. Now the difference was, God's agenda now for man was very unique that the angels came to learn. He only created two. To show the man that you are like me, I will only create two. Word and spirit. If you mix these two, you will have an outcome. So he gave man the right to procreate, and only one had that capacity. So when the angels saw the woman and the man sleeping in a bed, and then the woman 9 months later two weeks later, the angels came to study. Why is she vomiting? Stop looking down, women. Stop looking down. It's you. You are not forced to vomit. You vomited according to your own accord. So the angels studied. Like literally, there is something growing. And then they waited to see. Because they have never seen it. It has never been. You think Lucifer is the way he is for nothing? And then the Lord now presented and said, angels, you serve. Come. This is the man. Angel, you serve him. Before, you are serving me. So God didn't allow this. They couldn't see him. They just see him. So now God says, 3, 2, 1, I want to tell you something. From today, in order for you to come to me,
what is this?
This is my engineering. Gabriel. This is called man. I present to you man. You like it? So this is called the beard. These are called the eyes. This is called the hand. And it's tangible. It's not like you. You are a person spiritually. He's a person physically. This is what I wanted to tell all of you, but you couldn't see. So this was my last creation. Now guess what? He's the weakest. But from today, you serve him.
How is that?
No, like I'm telling you.
He's weak. He's weaker, but I should say.
Yeah, he's very weak. That's why I'm calling you to, because now, you remember the question you're asking me about your strength? This is the reason why I made you strong. You are carrying his strength. It's his. Just I don't want him to be tired to fly around with wings. So those wings belong to him. So I love him enough to make you carry his burden. So from today, you are hired.
Okay.
No, I don't like that, okay? Like you need to change. You need to change your okay. It needs to be okay, Lord.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
like you, Lord.
I love myself. This is my creation.
Can I touch him?
Can you touch him?
Yes, sir.
But he can't feel. But you can feel. So let me bring you closer.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. I made the eyes watery. And guess the difference? You move in one direction according to the scripture and you can't turn. You want to know the difference?
Yes,
He can't turn.
it's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Who is like me?
Surely there is none like you, Lord.
I know. I'm not asking, I know. You want to know something else?
Yes, sir.
His hair grows. Even if he shaves,
It will still grow back.
grow.
Can I touch?
Yeah, you can touch it. Whereas don't hurt him. This is still prototype. He has not yet brought forth his kind.
It's not been
So
tested.
it's not been tested, so be keen.
Okay.
Yeah, it grows. Wow. I know, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You see why you should serve him? Clearly, your hair doesn't grow.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Wow.
The last part. There are only two of them.
Two.
And I'm going to give them a whole planet.
Serious, Lord, for two.
Yeah, well, you know I've always been serious, Gabriel.
Well,
Yeah.
we are so many up here.
Yeah, I know.
And all of us are supposed to come to.
Yeah, two people. All
Billions
you.
of us.
Yeah, billions, like quadrillions and zillions.
Oh,
Yeah.
must be special.
No, he's not must. He is special. I need you to say he's special.
He's special.
So this is the thing. You want to know the difference?
Sir.
With two, I'm going to make billions.
But there's nothing like such.
Yeah, I know you can't understand. So the difference with him is that he can procreate.
Pro what?
Yeah, you remember that thing I did? Like I just and everything is there.
Yes, sir.
So
something similar.
So yes, well, it's
And
not.
the
He's not gonna
indebilitability.
use his mouth now. He's just, but yeah. I've put a tool.
Wait, is Gabriel supposed to laugh?
The reason why I try to break down my teaching is so that you can bear. Now, do you notice when it's visuals, you can see what is happening? Now, do you understand why God loves you? He gave you something he never gave the angels. So you, I made you with my hands. And I made all of you. By the time I came to him, I had finished making everything. That's why he's last, because he's my choice. Look at him.
He has the ability to bring another creation.
Yeah.
You made that in him. You gave him that ability.
Yeah. Well, it's in him. It's just that I did something different.
Oh, you sure?
So this is how it works. So in order for them to be four, two compartments have to fuse. There is a fusion, a magnetic.
This is a new technology.
It's a new technology.
Surely you are the Lord.
Yeah, I know, right? Tell me again.
Surely you are the Lord.
Say much better.
You sure are the Lord.
Put some bass.
Oh my God, you are the Lord. You are the Lord.
Yeah. And besides me,
there is no other.
There can't be any other. Can you do what I'm doing? Can you
No,
do this
sir.
creation?
No, sir.
So when this guy,
Strange.
they bring forth, you're going to see it. You want to
But
see
I
it?
can't do that, and I'm so
you know,
strong.
Yeah, you're so strong. Your strength is outward. His strength is inward. Philippians 1 verse 6, he who began a good work in. So you are all my sons. It's just that you're a son by might. He's a son by love. So he's weak, I know. but he's strong. He's poor. You are rich. He's poor, but he's rich. So I made him like that. Look at him. Yeah. So I'm going to make him a suitable helper. Then he will understand all this. But remember you are not given right to procreate. Are we clear? Are we clear?
Yes.
Are we? You are
Yes, sir.
studying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No
Yes, sir.
procreation. Just see and don't touch. You can look,
Don't touch.
do not dare touch. Sweet. Amazing. Auntie, come. So this is what you don't know.
Okay.
I make him sleep, and then blood and water. Another surprise.
What is this? She doesn't look like us. She looks like him.
Yeah. Remember the two?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Where
is-
did she come from?
She you can't understand. Just know she came. That's where she came. Yeah. So with these two, I'm gonna give them a whole paradise. The east part. Now you guys, you stay on this side.
Yes, sir.
Don't. These guys, I'm gonna give them the east, but all of you are in paradise.
But they just do. That's such.
Don't
big-
worry, you're gonna see. That's why I'm God and you're nothing.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
That's why I'm God.
Indeed.
Remember, you are what you are because of me.
Sir.
Yeah, I know, Michael. I know you stretch your wings, and I gave you wings. If I tell you two of them can give me 1 billion people, I know what I'm saying. I know you can't see it. Just follow me. So you remember the
Yeah, you spoke about it. The fusion.
fusion?
Yes, sir.
This is it.
So they're gonna fuse.
So they're going to fuse. And the good part is that it's not hidden. You will watch it. So when you are fusing, just know. Spirits are. It's only your uncle that doesn't know. Hata ukikaza, spirits know. Huna? It's not a voice. It's a sight. So even if you are there, say, ati Mungu hatasikia. No. It's not hearing. It's watching. Fellow nini? Fellow. And so the two shall become one.
What's that? There are two. How are they one?
Okay, so this is it. It's actually one person, just that I made one person two people.
Oh, that's where he slept.
Yeah. So I took from him and I made, it's one person, just that I made them two people, but they're all serving one person.
Okay, I don't understand that language, but I
So you
trust
see like
you.
the word and the spirit?
Yeah.
So this is the word and that's the spirit.
Okay.
Helper,
Now I understand.
source, fusing.
To one.
So these people will come together, and now it's not good for a man to be alone, because man had what it takes not to be alone. Do you understand
Yes,
that?
sir.
Now this angel, it is good for him to be alone. This is why you realize Gabriel came, Michael came, Lucifer. Do you see that? Because it was not their agenda. Now when in Genesis 6, I know why I'm going slowly, just bear with me. If you want us to be deep, you know we will be deep. Then I'll leave many of you floating. I don't want you to go and say, you bishop, nim deep. And then your mom asks you, Alisema? Nim deep, nim deep. You just know the bishop is deep. Okay, what did the bishop say? He's deep, mom, he's deep. That's why I try to, I know what I'm saying. I'm not a crazy man. So this man had the capacity not to be alone. That's why God says it is not good. But he cannot say it is not good when he does not have the capacity. So you, it is the way it is. That's why Michael is Michael. There are no two Michaels. As unique as that being is, his wings are his. That's how powerful God is. You know, soon you will meet him. Then you will know we spoke by the Spirit of truth. These things we are teaching about a new heaven, you will understand why I'm coming here. Now, this is why God, the difference between these beings. Number one, do you understand now? Clear difference. Two, he is built externally. He is built internally. Do you understand? Now do you see why the Holy Spirit makes an abode in you? Because you are bigger on the inside. He's bigger on the outside. So the much an angel can do is to save you. But you can teach intimacy to him. Because how intimate you are to God, an angel can learn. Because intimacy was given to you. Power was given to him. You see the difference? That's why he says angels are ministering spirits. So when the angel is coming to minister, he's not just the one releasing ministration. He's receiving ministration. God's love to his people. The angel is learning. And when that angel comes, it's God's strength to his people. That's why Michael means something. Gabriel means something. Do you understand that? Lucifer was in charge of new. That's why he came up with sin. Son of the morning. It was new. That word morning was that he could come up with new things. So he took it to an extreme. And his new could no longer be God's will. You know, God gave Lucifer his will. It was so new that angels could live and learn something from seeing him about God. A point came, angels were no longer learning about, they were learning about him. So he channeled authority to himself. And many people here made that mistake. And so these people, they will have the capacity. So the angels saw, at some point, the angels started lasting for. Now, can you now understand why? You see why I take you slowly? Who can now tell me why? Procreation. That's why they came. Notice they didn't care about the man. They wanted the one that can procreate. So they ship the seed and they find a womb and bring forth their kind. So they were so lustful that they wanted to see whether they can do it just as man. Are you? You know, just the way the man is doing it. Can we do it? So the angels now came and stand up here. They had found and an illegal system happened here. Jehovah came and judged it. Because angels are not given to marriage. Do you remember the words of Jesus? Neither do they marry. So they are not called to procreate. So they stepped out of their jurisdiction. Totally stepped out. This one is not even sin per se. I don't know how to explain it. This is creation of something. You see, man did not create sin. Man fell. That's why man can be saved. You get the difference? Now, this one created it. So how can you save when he has become equal, sharing the name of Father, not equal to God, but he's a source, just like God is a. So he became a source of all sin. That's why it's called a father. The original word for father is source. And something illegal happened here because of procreation. Now, the procreation tells you that it can happen. Because remember, this is a spirit being. He knows how to manipulate systems. Women, if you have slept and you've woken up and you are wet, let me tell you, you are not. You know, you guys, you ignore things. The question I should ask you, what was that thing that came that had the ability to arouse you sexually to a point whereby you feel you are literally having a sexual affair. You can feel it. And then you just think it's normal. Some women have become so comfortable there that they see no need of a man because they are satisfied by a spirit. There are things I can't teach. That there is no need. If you ask that woman, there is no need for a man because a spirit has taken the shape. These things happened here. There's nothing new. Jehovah judged this seed. That's why he wiped the whole earth. It was an illegal breed. He knew it, but it was not in his plan. And if the Nephilims would have been allowed, they got to a point they started eating what? So Jehovah had to reduce them because procreation was only with. Now all those angels that came to procreate and invade the genesis and the origin of man, they were dealt with. So you hear Lucifer and the third of his. Remember, he is the father of all. So these ones that came, they are under him. Because the lie, it's Lucifer that told them, you can procreate. Because remember, he's the father. So if there is another angel that came up with another lie, he can't be the father. He's the owner of lies. What you call the lie. He's the one that now went to the third of the angel and told them, you can sleep with them. Already it's a lie. He's the father. Any sin you see, Lucifer engineered it. Don't play with that being. That's why choir masters fall under his arm. Pastors fall under his arm. Prophets fall under his arm. He's not a stupid being as you want to call him. You will not be falling if he is. So the next time you think you are dealing with a stupid being, check your life. Then ask yourself, what intelligence does he have to bring you down with such prayer? You are, even during prayer, he puts sexual sin, like he puts a picture, and you are praying. You will notice you are why are you not praying? Taking a break. So the Lord knew it. He has capacity in your mind. He says, casting down imagination. Satan dwells in that imaginary realm. He can take your thoughts and cook his will. And cook his will and bat it. Every sin starts as a thought. Every sin starts as a thought. When you give your thought space, it becomes a lifestyle. When you give your thought space, it becomes a lifestyle. Every sin starts as a thought. When you give your thought space, it becomes a lifestyle. No one murders by mistake. It was a thought that resulted into a knife and a stabbing. It was a thought that resulted. So sin begins in the thought realm. That's why Jesus says, I know the thoughts. Both spirits are spirits by thoughts. They rule in that thought realm. I know the thoughts I think towards you. And so this is the imaginary situation. Now do you understand why man is great? Capacity to pro, they don't have it. And God only created two. I've seen pastors and prophets try to teach this thing differently. Oh, Madam was not the only pastor. To try and be deep is weird. Just the answers are in your Bible, but we don't read. She became the mother of all living. How do you say that there were other beings? And she became the mother of all living. So any person that is living, the DNA is traced back to Eve. What are you saying? Oh, who did Cain marry? Really? Are you that shallow? Cain married his sister. Can't you read that Adam, lived and had many sons? And why do you think the Bible is telling you many? And please don't go there. You can't marry your sister because that came with Moses. Don't go there. Nothing was contaminated then. It became so contaminated that God now brought a system. So someone is trying to be deep. You just started teaching yesterday, and now you start taking topics. Start with topics like, for God so loved the world. Start with John 3:16. At least that doesn't even need, it's deep by the way, but at least there is self-explanation. Oh, Adam is not the first man. God is not man, so who is man? Who is the first man? Why is he called? Jesus himself said he's the second Adam. So who was the first one? And you just see people that are coming, no grace to teach. And they say God created a race. God did not create a race. God created two people. Every other person did not involve God's hand. Adam and Eve were created in God's hands. Me and you, we are God's creation through a certain system which was seed and womb. Do you understand that? He loved him. Then war broke out. Couldn't understand how these weak vessels. Jesus actually comes and he says, angels. You see angels. He didn't categorize them. He says angels. Anything that's called an angel are ministering spirits. They are ministers, but they are spirits. They don't have bodies. A lot of people don't see it. This is why God loves you. He put so much in you, and he gave you the ability to tell your neighbor, capacity to procreate. That's what makes you man. And I'm not saying male, like man. Do you get it? Is this clearly understood? Thank you. I'm so sorry for taking your time.